SharkyBreath.
He plays video games.
Hello, and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where I have been fruitlessly poking around my menus for, honestly, about 10 minutes. It's nearly the end of the day. There's not going to be that much more I can accomplish today, but I've been trying to figure out if there is another thought that I can, plan to get rid of here. Most of these are fairly good and interesting, I guess. Not necessarily all of them, but like, for example, the shit compressor. I could probably get rid of that fairly soon. The main thing is that the learning cap for endurance is raised to 4, right? And I've only spent 1 skill point on endurance. So technically I could just blow 3 skill points on endurance and then blow my 4th skill point on learning the volumetric shit compressor in order to learn another thought. But I've also never taken endurance damage, I don't think. So, and I recognize I've just been lucky in that regard. I haven't managed to actually or physically hurt myself much at all in this run, which is strange. Oh, I also took the liberty of switching back to my clothing. I also made another discovery. You can organize your inventory, which is something that I thought you couldn't do, but it turns out what you have to do is like drag and swap items specifically. So you could sort it by inventory slot, which is what I've done here, or you could technically sort it by like bonus, I guess, although that would be hard since they usually have like combinations of stuff. And like, what do you sort it under? Alphabetical? I don't know. That seems unnecessary, honestly, but in any case I can organize it, so that's fun, I suppose. So as to what to do right now, apparently I've noticed something. What's this?
These are some wonderfully regular pants.
Whoops.
Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party.
I forgot. I put on the Kingdom of Conscience pants, and apparently I have thoughts about it. I like regular, normal things. Oops, it's a fashion faux pas. Discard the thought and the pants. I don't yet understand how you get +1 to Kingdom of Conscience. I wonder if I were to embrace wearing these pants, if I wouldn't be able to change them again, something like that. That said, the other 2 pairs of pants I've got boost my electrochemistry, and usually whenever electrochemistry speaks up, I'm like, no, shut up. So I guess maybe I should admit that I seem to like regular, normal things?
I know you do. These Inter-Estellari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this. That's for sure.
I mean, great. Continue?
You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be.
Right. Whoops, I guess. Continue.
Makes sense. This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you.
I guess. Sure. Did that actually change the item at all? Nope. That's just the pants. I'm wearing the pants. I've got the pants on. Well, sure, I guess that's fine. Okay, so in terms of what to do right now, there's really only a couple things I can think of doing right now, and one is visiting the pawn shop again, just because I haven't made time to do it earlier. And the other is, I figured I would go and see if the custom dice maker is still up at this time of night. I'm guessing she's not, but wait, what's going on here? Etched into the wood, barely visible. Remember the rest is lost to time. Well, your mission has failed, I'm afraid. Yes, I was figuring I might talk to the custom dice maker just because I technically have a bunch of money now, and it seems like those dice of hers give you weird bonuses on various things. Oh, hey, these 2 are gone, and I'm in their space. What's this? The spirited chirps and clicks of swallows fill the air. I must just have better perception than I did back when I first came here. Also, what are the swallows doing out this time of night, I wonder? Aloud. No idea. Is there any point in trying to call in? I'm guessing nobody's manning the phones at this hour, right? Alright, well, let's just try it. It probably won't work. The phones, I mean the radio.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
Radio?
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alice, do you just work 24/7? This is ridiculous. Did you find anything else about the armor boots?
Still no word, I'm afraid,
No,
sir.
that's fine.
57.
Thanks, Alice. Bye. Not too surprising there. So one day just isn't enough time to find out about the armor. Fine. Got it. Cool. That's okay. That's just fine. So pawn shop, yes? Pawn shop. I figure my main point of business at the pawn shop is that I do have a tape now, so if I got myself a tape player, according to the quest, I could memorize the words to the song on the tape, and then I could sing karaoke at some point, you know? Seems important. Somehow. Hello. Is there anything here I haven't actually looked at? I don't remember. That's the boombox, though, right? Let's have a look at that.
The
Sorry about the
boombox
flashlight in
is
your face.
on the shelves.
Here
And
it
your
is.
boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Wowshi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
It's my boombox. How did I fail to retain the fact that it's my boombox? I pawned it when I was on my extreme bender. Great. So 12 real. I can definitely afford that, particularly now that I don't have to pay for, rent. I'm just flashing my flashlight in Roy's face every time I pass it over him. That's all. Just a second. Hi, how are you? Anything
If
changed
you
here?
don't mind, please put the flashlight away. Some of us have photonic sensitivities.
I'm sorry, Roy. I didn't know it was actually a thing.
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical establishment.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. No, this is my thing. Keep holding the flashlight. That's the pyro talking. There is no flashlight. So mean. No. I'm not going to mess with him. That's fine. Sorry.
I do appreciate it.
Sure. Okay. Is it going to automatically... It's not. Okay, I have to put it away. Hang on. Sorry. I got this. Bag. There we go. Bag. Great. Anyway, how are you, Roy?
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Apparently... No, you can't. Well, that's okay. I have other business to take care of, and that's just fine. All right, so boombox,
The
eh?
boombox's weight on the shelves.
Let's get the
And your
boombox.
that gold.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
A conversation of sounds and shapes is sure a way to describe it. Thank you, Roy. Great. So I've got a thing now. Tape player, Harmon Wowshi, WO2. Equip this to play tapes. It's actually something I hold in my hand. Interesting. You just sort of... Amazing. It's bigger than I thought it was. So in that case, can I just like, how does it work? Did I ever interact with this tape? Let's interact with the tape and see what happens.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Play on the tape, not now put the tape away. This would be a heck of a place to do it. I'd imagine Kim wouldn't necessarily want to be subjected to this, but he'll probably speak up if he has issues. Press play on tape.
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Press your ear against the speaker, keep the porter reel at a harmless distance, and wait. Well, let's get in there.
It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in.
Oh, like on the tape, there's someone they're recording in the hallway. Continue.
Telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad.
I mean, this is as expected. I did take issue with this particular recording during my bender, did I not? Continue.
Within seconds you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it.
Perform it.
A click. Then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this. No, I couldn't. It's too sad. I might cry and trash the room again. Scratch that, I'm already crying and I look dumb and old. I bet you this just gives you straight up volition damage, and that's an end on it. But I would like to sing it for karaoke if at all possible. I think I could sing this.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times.
I presume that's true. We just need a reminder. Need a little jog in the brain. Continue.
Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses.
2 real. Generated out of nowhere. Huh. That is very strange. Wompty-dompty-dom, eh? I don't like the -2 suggestion from it, but dang. $2 whenever I get pretentious, like, could be worse, I guess. Continue.
And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
Would that be Gart? What?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand.
Do you think I could do that just right now? Continue.
The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything, I figure he has thoughts about it, but he's decided not to share them. Very well. Very well, Kim. That's fair, I suppose. Great. Well, I suppose I can unequip this, huh? I suppose I don't have to have this slung over my shoulder the entire time. Bag? Bag. Good bag. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Man, it's dark. Okay, so I did want to stop by the Doomed Business Center and see if... Oh no, I've forgotten her name and it doesn't tell you again. Ah, shoot. The dice crafter. I want to see if she's in. Just to get another die ordered, since I have the money for it, and it seems like there's no point in not getting bonuses for things, you know? Oh, it's so dark. Okay, hang on. Right, flashlight. Right, flashlight. Roy's not here. Flashlight. Bam. Good, 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 good. Okay. This away. This still hasn't melted. It's not going to, right? Just checking.
This orange machine is dead still.
No. Not turning the crank, because I really do suspect that there's a cube hidden in there, as was suggested that there might be. It's just a question of getting it out without destroying it. And I assume that rattling it around in an ice cream maker is not going to do it any favors, you know? I feel like I've already discussed this particular thought, but here we are. Discussing it again. Okay. Just a piece away. She is still here. Why is she still here? Hi. Do you just work all night? I'm gonna ask about it.
It's you again. Are you looking for a die?
What's the check here? Oh, it's a Shivers check. Oh, wow. Right, okay. I forgot there was a Shivers check here. Do I even have a way to boost my Shivers? I have more questions about this building, and it's highlighted. Why do I have more questions about this building? I guess I'll ask.
I'm listening.
I don't have more questions about this building. I'm sorry.
Good.
I'm a liar.
I hope it clarified things a bit.
What
else?
Can I order another die? Is that an option?
I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per customer.
You know, that's fair. I guess I appreciate what you've done for me, and I'm sorry that I didn't put more thought into my selection. I mean, I kind of did put thought into my selection. However, it didn't work out quite the way I thought, I guess. So far, the only thing I've seen a bonus to with that die was asking the one fisherwoman on a date, right? I think that's the only place I've seen it. But don't mind me while I play with my flashlight. You don't mind this, do you? You don't have photosensitivity going on, anything, do you? No? Probably good. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Good night. Goodbye. I suppose I won't be back. If I can't order more dice, then that's that. Okay, well, I guess let's go talk to Gart. It's a little bit late, so it might be too late to sing karaoke, but you never know. These places are presumably open pretty late, and maybe with fewer people in the place, he'd be more willing to let me, you know, share my sorrow, as it were. Can't tell for sure. I also don't know if Kim's necessarily going to want to be present for that, but I would like Kim to be present for that, so I guess we'll see how it works out. Bag. And why not? Alright, back to the whirling then. I also officially can't afford my room at this point, so I sure hope it doesn't come down to having to pay for a room in order to be able to sing here. Gart! Hi, Gart! Hang on a second. Before I talk to Gart, I want to check in real quick and check with that suggestion check what the bonuses I have are.
Sweetie. So nice to see you again.
Oh, hey, I actually have a decent chance of doing this, don't I? I bet Kim would appreciate it if I waited until he'd gone to bed before I talked to her about it, though, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will do that, in fact, and check through my inventory for suggestion clothing, that sort of thing. Gart!
Hey,
Gart, my
was
man.
there something you needed?
He nods in greeting. Wow, that was more friendly than usual, Gart, the cafeteria manager. Gart, I need to sing karaoke now. Are you going to let me?
No, you don't. It's not happening.
Why not?
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man.
Yeah, but look him in the eye. Johnny Law is about to tear it up sad style. Why do you even have the PA system if no one's going to use it? It's part of my quest of self-discovery. Help me. This is my way of apologizing for the trouble I've caused. Please let me say I'm sorry. You're right, it's not the right time yet. Okay, how do we talk to him about this? Do I only get one chance? Probably not. Probably we're going to have to try a bunch of stuff and then we're going to get a check that I have to succeed at, right? It does seem likely. Okay. Wheedling first? Do we start with wheedling? Or, Why don't we... It's part of my quest of self-discovery. Help me.
The Whirling's not a charity or a musical therapy clinic. It's a commercial establishment. You're going to scare away the customers.
It's 10:30 at night, Gart. Why do you even have the PA system if no one's going to use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
He begins confidently, but then stumbles on his own words because he was lying, and he's not good at it. What happened in 44? It's not a prop, it's for your clients. I know it's used. When was the last time you had a band play here? What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
Very convincing, Gart. It's not a prop. I'm pretty sure it's not a prop, Gart.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
He admits reluctantly, I'm a real client. I paid my bills, and I have the right to use the karaoke machine. Okay, fuck me then. Just fuck me. Uh-oh. I don't know if I want to pursue this particular angle, but maybe it'll work because I did pay my bills previous to this.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
He comes up with a counter-argument. It's all right. I have my own tape with my own song with me. Give him the tape for Smallest Church in Sanson. It seems like this is working, isn't it? It seems like this is working.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard.
Do you recognize the song, Gart? Do you recognize the song from last weekend, Gart? Continue.
Fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
He shakes the tape at you. Ha ha!
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself.
Not so quiet that I couldn't hear it, but it's too late for that, Gart. It's too late.
Time to do the damage.
Time to do the damage, apparently. Goodbye. Okay, so I need to pick out an outfit for this. Clearly we need to dress for the job. So let's see here. Shirts. I'm thinking maybe the drama mesh top? I don't actually know what is going to be required of me, but it seems like drama is a good stat to lean into for performing karaoke, right? Endurance, pain threshold, or half-light, probably not. Minus drama as well. Esprit de corps, conceptualization, logic. The one I've got on right now is visual calculus. Oh. Let me think about that. Okay, so we got pants. Savoir-faire I'll probably need. Electrochemistry is probably good too. Reaction speed shouldn't come up much. Maybe this? Gloves, electrochemistry, interfacing. I'm going to go with electrochemistry on this, I think. Encyclopedia, savoir-faire, logic, and this is perception, so... Wait a second. Glasses first. Savoir-faire probably, right? Yeah. Savoir-faire probably. Okay. Logic. Oh, I missorted this hat. This hat goes with the other hats. We'll put the shoes here, because I don't have another place for shoes anyway. Perception, not necessary right now. Also, I noticed, if you look at the green snakeskin shoes, they have high heels as well. I just like my heels high, man. I just like my dang heels high, apparently. Anyway, there's those. Now, shivers from the scented scarf. That's probably not going to come up right now, I don't think. So, okay, so I do have a bow knot, which does increase my drama. And in fact, if drama is what I'm looking for, then that might be a good choice here. It almost also seems appropriate to go back to the horrific necktie for this very act, but I don't know if I can back that up with logic. It just seems to, you know, represent my whole sad experience. Encyclopedia. Logic. I guess I should consider myself lucky that the Sumerian conical hat is basically just the peepo but worse, so I will never be tempted to wear it. Mullen's hat then. If we're not looking for a bonus of a particular stat, I think Mullen's hat. What does this look like? All right, let's just try it on. Wow. That's quite a look. With a tank top on. Wow, that's a look. I don't know if I can deny that. My apologies to the horrific necktie. I seem to be doing it dirty left, right, and center lately, but... Okay. Are we doing this? Are we doing this? In front of Kim and everyone. Are we doing this? I put on a bow tie with no shirt. Apparently I don't have standards. Let's just see what happens if I do it. Let's just... Oh, wow. Okay, that's sure is something. I'm a little afraid to back out of my inventory right now, but... Let's try it. Nobody thinks anything about it. No one has any comments about this. Gart is probably prepared to call the police, except that I am the police. You can't stop me, Gart. You can't stop me. Tools, do I need to switch something out? Probably the bag isn't going to help me much. The tape player, I could hold it. It might make me feel better, but it's not really necessary. Just as like a prop, you know? Just like a prop. And then this guy takes down my authority, but my empathy is up there, so, you know, up there. Quote unquote up there. It's as high as it gets. This is sure something. This is sure something. Yeah, you might want to stand back for this one, Kim.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet.
The pellets? Oh, the pallets. Probably the pallets is what you mean. I understand. Continue.
You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
I do suspect this is going to have repercussions for my mental condition, but hey, that's all right. We're committed now.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
It's in fact a drama check. Dress code, insane silk dragon. Look, Kim, I'm going to sing karaoke. Put your lips against the microphone. Test it. Look around the room first. Hi, Kim. How are you?
I can see that.
The lieutenant steps away from the stage, ready for your performance. Indeed. Look around the room first.
The bar is full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you any attention. But still you feel your knees turn to noodles. Okay, now a couple is looking at you. Even worse.
Hang in there, you got this.
Just make sure you move, okay? Don't be stiff.
That is important, Sapphire Fair, thank you. Do I have an... Oh, hey, throwing in some dance moves. I got +1. All right, let's test the microphone.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand?
I feel like I have knowledge on these matters, probably. But maybe not. Continue.
Hands. Where do you put your hands?
Where do I put my hands? Oh, great. I'm too close to the mic now. I should not have done the thing. Okay, but we still have a 92% chance of success, so... I'm ready, Gart. Hit play. Come on.
The air is thick with anticipation.
Anticipation. Continue.
Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
Here we apparently go.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-Saëns, though it once was larger. how the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there. Toward the Seven Sisters. Toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Huh. That was indeed my ancient reptilian brain. How the real may rest there. I didn't understand what he said at that point. What's that mean? I'll have to check into it. Well, I did it. I wonder if the ancient reptilian brain voice is actually my voice? Do I actually sound like that? Or is that just because I was singing from the very root of me? I wonder. I did it. Continue?
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
Thank you, ancient reptilian brain. I want to dedicate this song to whoever wrote me that fucking letter. I still love you. Thank you very much, asshole. I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, Kim Kitsuragi, not to the lieutenant. I'd like to dedicate this song to Gart for letting me sing it. It's all shit, Gart. I'd like to dedicate this song to the pale nothing that will devour the world. I'd like to dedicate this song to the RCM. Please don't fire me. He's not here right now. You can't tell your boss. I don't want to dedicate this song to anyone. I performed it for myself. Well, first, let's thank ancient reptilian brain. That may preclude me from dedicating this song to anyone. It may take too much time, but I'm going to do it anyway.
There is silence now in the deep where the voice came from. It has receded to return only in dreams and nightmares.
I mean, fair point. My interactions with the ancient reptilian brain have not been particularly cordial since the beginning of this game, but then again, it would much prefer to not have to deal with existence. Continue?
This guy really carried you.
Yeah. So who do we dedicate the song to? Kim's right there. Gart would just roll his eyes and uninstall the thing faster. That's a Apocalypse Cop talking for sure. I did perform it for myself. Kim tolerated this much like he tolerates everything, but putting him on the spot might not be the friendly thing to do, I suppose. Meanwhile, Harry's just standing here in silence for 2 to 3 minutes after the applause has died down, considering who he wishes to dedicate the song to. What the heck, do it for Kim.
The lieutenant doesn't say anything, but gives you a quick smile before turning away.
Could be worse. Continue.
He's incapable of blushing, but if he weren't, he'd blush.
Continue.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
The cafeteria manager intervenes to cut the moment short. It was already pretty long. It's fine, Gart. Yeah, go ahead.
Last words?
Thank you, Martinez. Say nothing. Leave enigmatically. This one. Great. Martinez. I pronounced the name of the city wrong. Oh, man. Hi, Kim. How are you? I sure did that thing just now. Yes, I did. I feel okay about it. Could be worse. Could be worse. Let me change my clothing immediately. Immediately. Wow. Yeah, sure, whatever. Whatever. Probably no point in fighting the moralism, is there? As was pointed out to me in the comments, what else am I going to go with? Fascism? I've already turned down communism. Admittedly, that was because the communist thought was rough to have in the brain. But, nevertheless, I did refuse it. So, what can I do at this point, you know? Oh, hey, yeah. Let's get that off. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Feeling like myself again. Maybe that was always myself. I'm not really even sure anymore. Alright, Kim. I guess we're done for tonight, huh? I think we're probably done for tonight. Can I send you off to your room? Or do I have to go, like, pretend to turn in before I can send you off to your room? I don't even know how it works. This is your room, right? Let's see if there's any option to... Nope. Nothing new to say here. And I can't go into my room because I didn't pay for it. So I would have to go back... Okay, I gotta go back to the fishing village and interact with the door to send Kim on his way. But then I need to come back here if I want to talk about suggestion things with Lena, which I do. So... Do we have anything else we need to take care of tonight? Is there anything else? I don't think so. Right, I don't have a brush yet. We'll deal with that later. I don't think so. So, I guess let's do that fast travel thing, eh? Let's see here. Meow. We're going to the shacks. Man, it's dark, though. Okay, hang on. I know it's not entirely necessary, but I feel a little better if I can see where I am, you know? Okay. Ah, she's still out. Hi. What are you still doing out? How late do you normally sit here?
The old woman still sits in her chair, continuing with her chores. As she does so, she quietly hums to herself.
Continue.
The buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of the ocean waves at night.
I suppose so. Continue.
There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it right now.
There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it. Ask her about... What song? You're still up? Hi.
Yes. I can't really sleep anymore.
Really?
Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older.
She sloshes the water in the bucket around for a bit. Continue.
My suggestion is, don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough.
She smiles.
What's troubling your mind?
Oh, the song that she's humming. Oh, that makes more sense. For some reason, I didn't make the connection. Yes, what's the song you're humming?
A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids, too. It's an old Samaran children's song.
What's it called? Sounds nice. It's weird. I don't like it. I mean, I did bother you specifically to ask the name of the song. And it may be that there isn't a name to the song. But let's at least ask.
Surrender to the night.
She replies, slowly rocking back and forth. Surrender to the night.
That's kind of grim for a children's song, even if it is a lullaby.
I mean, a little bit. But I'm not here to just, like, insult your singing right after I inflicted my own on an entire bar. So I'm going to assume it sounds nice.
Yes, it does.
She nods. It does sound nice. I wonder if I'm reading into it too far. I wonder if that's exactly what she was getting at. I don't know. Goodbye. Hope you can... Sularam ram ram. Oh, I remember you said that the first time I walked, didn't you? I remember that. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to send Kim off for the night.
It's getting late, and it's raining. Time to call it a day.
It is raining on us, isn't it? I'm sorry for dragging you out here, Kim, but it's the only way I can send you home. Good night, Kim. Send him away for the night.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Sounds good. Enter the shack, and then immediately turn around and go back out of the shack. Yeah! Ha ha! Sneaking out at night. The thought on the save... Wow. Hold it. Look at my shadow when I do that. The save page was also in tune with this. It was telling me to do exactly this. Wow, look at that. That's actually kind of cool that the shadows are that well rendered. Look at my torso. I'm massive. Okay, anyway, I need to go back to the waterfront. Sneak out after he's gone to sleep. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay, so we're back in the bar. Hello, Whirling in Rags. I probably was following Kim back to the bar, like trailing behind him, and he keeps looking back, being like, "What are you doing?" Unless he teleported back, much like I do, in which case, never mind. Come to think on it, no time passed, so maybe that is what happens. Okay, so let me dig through my inventory for suggestion clothing, quick. Well, that's the opposite of suggestion clothing. Great news, everyone. I have exactly no suggestion clothing. Okay, cool. Well, I guess let's try this. Hello, it's me again. How are you?
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to see you again.
Come to think on it, what are you doing still up? Anyway, my suggestion is terrible, but I would like to talk about cool cryptids, yes please.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. You're chummy. Just go on and ask.
Good point, suggestion. I'm not sure why this was a suggestion check. Hey, Lena, I'd like... How do you actually pronounce it? Lena is how he pronounces it, but it's wrong, right? It's Lena, right? Right? I don't remember. Hey, Lena, I'd really like to hear about some of those juicy cryptids you've studied. Could you tell me about a couple, please?
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Is this bird a cryptid? Point at the tie she gave you. What's the biggest cryptid? What's the tiniest cryptid? What's the most dangerous cryptid? Are there any invisible cryptids? This has been educational. Okay, so let's start with the bird. Is this bird a cryptid?
No. It's the cryptid.
Wow, decrypted? Okay, what is this bird? Well, first, decrypted?
Oh, yes.
The small silvery skull shines between your fingers, its beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters.
That's huge.
It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
The man scoffs. Until
it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
Uwe Plattenkalk. I like the way you say that name. Also, I'm glad that Morell is here for this conversation. It gave me a huge bonus on the check, admittedly, but also he's going to chime in from time to time. That's great. Continue.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty, but... Of course, you are not all-knowing.
That is true, and this was also a success. I need to hear about the sighting. Okay, not now. Let's back up a notch. No, I want to hear about this. Let's hear it.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Oamrau is... I mean, it's apparently in southeast Ilmara, but go ahead and ask, yes?
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up.
Erg. I like it. What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus.
It's funny to me that you pronounce Uwe and Uamrau and Erg all very specifically, and then you say Pericarnassus. Continue.
He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan.
Gargantuan indeed. Maybe that is how you pronounce Pericarnassus now that I think on it. How else would you pronounce it? I don't know what I'm talking about. Continue.
Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
He was following it? It followed him? By the time he got there, it had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. He was following it. It sounds like he was following it.
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst.
Right.
For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest.
All right. Seems to me it could easily escape into the canyon, but let's see where this goes. Continue.
Professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
He's gonna try and kill a bird with an 11.5 meter wingspan with a rock. I mean, I understand he's probably desperate, but I can't imagine this is going to go well. Continue.
Watch out.
Thank you, reaction speed.
Then, the Tetatorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
I mean, that sounds like potentially fight or flight taking hold, but I'm guessing we're also going to say that the Tetatorn has some sort of influence over him. Anyway, why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
3 days? 3 days? Wasn't he already dehydrated before this? Hold on, how did he survive to tell the story? Yes, that! An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird. Fuck yes. An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird. Come on. An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird? No way. How did he survive to tell the story?
The 8-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
I see. Okay, well that's convenient, I suppose. Anyway, an 8-eyed mind-controlling bird, fuck yes?
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
She smiles, glad you agree. I mean, that's amazing. That's great. That's a very good cryptid. Thank you for this. Continue.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
So that was the last anyone saw of it? Okay, so it's never been seen again. This one. That's the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara.
Huh.
And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
That's so. Huh. And how... Pericarnassian is fairly ancient at this point, right? Continue.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
I mean, sure, but continue.
Very, very hard.
Hard to pass off a coincidence, I see. Just trying to drive the point home, Morel. Gotcha. Thank you. Continue.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids.
I mean, well, I kind of am. She winks.
What else do you want to know?
So, what's the biggest cryptid,
That would be the giant of Kokonur.
She says as if it's common knowledge. I'm afraid I don't know what that is. I'm not getting a blue check, so I don't know. Continue.
The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
Wait, what do you mean, strange light? And just how big is it? Is it dangerous? Strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
Psychogenous? I don't even... She does not elaborate the nature of this luminance further. Okay. And just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
That's big. That's very big. Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
I don't honestly... I mean, I know roughly what a fata morgana is, I guess, sort of, but, like, does it actually translate to fate unimaginable? Probably not, huh? No, I should probably look that up and sort myself out. Okay, great. Bad omen. Check.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support.
It does sound quite huge. Are we sure that it's an animal? Not that I'm doubting its existence, but are we sure it's an animal? Continue.
There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget.
Right.
Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Who's some in this case? Some say. Well, continue.
Great. This is great shit. You need more.
Yeah, continue.
Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
Man, conceptualization is having a good time in this particular conversation, and so am I. What's the tiniest cryptid, please?
Cryobacter catlensis.
She answers immediately. Cryobacter catlensis?
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
Okay, so what's so special about it?
The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. Certainly from before recorded history.
Okay, does that make it a cryptid, though? Continue.
Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study.
What?
No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Wait, she injected herself with it? You mean there is an immortal geologist wandering the world? I don't understand. Why would you prolong your life? Being alive is terrible. I intend to live forever too, as a symbol. She was preparing for the end times. She wanted to witness and record the twilight proceedings. Immortal bacteria? Immortal geologist? That's too wild. So wait a second. She injected herself with it.
Yes. The bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
I mean, sure, but it seems a bit simplistic, doesn't it? Huh, what was she even doing up there? Let me see here. She's a geologist. Okay. It just seems like a weird jump to be like, I've discovered an organism that no one's ever heard of. I'm going to inject it directly into my veins because it might be immortal, and therefore I might get him. I feel like there will be consequences for injecting yourself with an unknown bacterium, but okay. You mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world?
Yes, and she's quite mad, too.
Aha.
After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away.
So it worked. Continue?
We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now. All alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
She's okay with that, I suppose. All right, great. What's the most dangerous cryptid?
The gnome of Jeroma.
She pauses for effect. The gnome of Jeroma? That sounds terrifying. The gnome of Jeroma? That doesn't sound too bad. You never know with gnomes. Gnomes often can do a bunch of stuff that you don't even expect. Like, they're usually portrayed as fairly innocuous, but you don't know. You don't know what gnomes got going on. That sounds terrifying.
Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
Well, that seems like a problem. What did this cryptid look like?
It was, reportedly, a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a gangly little thing. Quite scary to look at.
Understandable. Continue.
A couple of campers found it when it was already dying.
Ah.
They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it.
That's sure a response you could have. Continue.
It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
She looks at you, her voice grave suddenly. So, couple of campers wander into the woods, hear a noise like a dying animal, go off to find it, and it's a little creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead in the throes of agony of death. And they're like, this thing's terrifying to look at, as has been told to me by the cryptozoologist wives here. And so they were like, let's just wrap it in a tarp and suffocate it, right? They do that. And probably it starts thrashing around and wailing louder or whatever. And it doesn't die. So they do it for a full day. They just sit on it for a day because they're worried about what it'll do if they get up. Maybe that's probably what they're going for here, huh? It just starts like scrabbling at them and trying to kill them or something. Are there any photos of it?
Alas, no. And the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom.
Uh-huh. Continue.
Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
She says, mostly to herself. Continue.
Alas, always, alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
Seems very convenient that it was just disappeared and nothing like it was seen again. No, it was a perfectly good explanation. Stop being so skeptical. I am not here to question, like, yeah, cryptozoology is highly unlikely. There's a bunch of chances for it to not make sense and not actually be real, but, like, I'm not here to question her. I'm asking her for stories. I recognize this is a double standard from how I treated Morel earlier. I'm sorry, Morel. No, it was a perfectly good explanation. Stop it.
Sure, a perfectly good explanation. It dissolved in its own venom. Go on then. Ask about more gnomes or whatever.
I'm gonna, Logic. Come on now. Are there any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
And what is that? Would that be the one you two are tracking?
The Col de Mama d'Aqua, or Thin Whisper of Sound. And that's precisely what it seems to be. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. It's very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
It's a sound. It's sound waves. Then when we perceive the sound waves, what does that do to its existence? Continue.
Col de Mama d'Aqua can also be translated as a whisper, light and low.
Cool, thanks for the 2 real. A whisper, light and low. Could it be here, right now? What evidence is there of this animal being a sound? Why is the Mama d'Aqua so afraid of us? Okay, a whisper, light and low.
Yes, that's another translation.
Her eyes light up behind her glasses.
They're both quite lovely, aren't they?
They are. Continue.
Although the low part is a little ironic. The Col de Mama d'Aqua makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere all of the time, and we wouldn't know.
So, okay. All right, it's too high to be perceived, so it doesn't... My question's irrelevant. But how can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
I mean, that's never stopped a cryptozoologist before, though, has it? Could it be here, right now? Yeah, let's go in order. Could it be here?
It could be.
She says calmly.
As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
I suppose. What evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds,
I don't know what Areopagite
were trying
means.
out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing.
Okay. Sure, continue.
When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
Songbirds. Just nod eagerly. I figured just let her go. Just go.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest-pitched bat calls.
So, I'm guessing, right, I'm going to predict that this experimental sound recording equipment that they were using was somehow lost after this incident, and that's why we can't replicate this particular experience, probably. I know, I'm trying not to be skeptical, but I'm guessing that's where we're going with this, right?
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Col de Mama d'Aqua, after the Paracarnassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
So when I retranslated the thing you told me, that's actually Paracarnassian. I just happened to know the Paracarnassian language. Wow. Go on. Wow.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and...
She smiles.
Even began to name some of them.
That's a very human thing to do. Name them.
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mamadakwa they followed individually.
She nods. Why is the Mamadakwa so afraid of us?
That is a sad story.
She frowns.
A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
Ah, extinction.
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadakwas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
They cancel each other perfectly. And this is why we believe it is a sound wave. An organism that is a sound wave. Continue.
Psst.
They cancel each other out.
They cancel each other out. Yeah. Thank you, Encyclopedia. I already knew that one, but thank you. They cancel each other out.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
Got it. Continue.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Mamadakwa population anywhere.
Got it. That is not the direction I was expecting it to go, and that's considerably more logically believable than we just don't have the equipment anymore. Interesting. What about...
What about what?
Unfortunately, there's nothing else. She smiles gently, though. This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
I'm guessing there's not any more in here, but I don't want it to be highlighted anymore. So I'd really like to hear more about cryptids.
Of course, dear.
There's not.
Is there a particular cryptid that you're interested in learning about?
That's fine.
Of course, dear.
That's all for now, ma'am. Thank you, Lena. Lena. I can never... Thank you. Wow, I made back most of the money that I spent on my boombox in that particular conversation. How is my brain doing this? This is amazing. Do I actually have money? Like, I've got money, it's just that I didn't remember that I had money? Is that what's happening here? Because most of the stuff that happens with my brain is explainable somehow, but this one seems weird. Okay, hello. What?
Was that? Could it be? The Mamadakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear.
Is it? Is there a ringing? Listen more closely. I mean, it specifically is outside the range of human hearing, but don't let that stop you.
There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear.
Lena. We have another contender for how to pronounce her name. Lena. Was that the right one? Now I can't remember. Continue.
Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird.
Those were two parts of my own... I mean, that's true logic. That is a thing. Lena. Two parts of my brain disagree on how to pronounce her name. Continue.
Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. But, admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then, isn't there always?
I mean, I personally have tinnitus and have my entire life, so yes, there always is, but let's listen closely first.
There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species.
I mean, probably not, but let's at least figure out what's going on here. Continue.
Yeah, but how are you going to catch it?
Fair enough, savoir-faire. Probably I'm not. Keep listening.
It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you.
Continue.
Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder.
Hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder, or move your head toward the sound. I have two choices here. Composure, having had a success, thinks I should keep still, so I guess let's hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder.
Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it.
Is it... Okay, continue?
No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets.
No, come back, please. Listen more. Go then, leave. Leave like everything else. Don't. I'll try, but it's not going to work, is it?
Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Sure, continue.
That pawnbroker, Roy, was into natural sounds too. Maybe you could talk to him.
I suppose I could, sure. I have a thought, though. Let's see the thought. Col de Mamadaqua. 7 hours of research, no bonus at all for researching it. Or penalty. You heard it, the mysterious Col de Mamadaqua. You're certain that you did. Well, maybe not quite certain, but let's say you're hopeful, because it would make you very special to be the only human being who can hear this invisible incorporeal bird, this animate whisper, this particle of sound. You're going to have to keep listening. Sharpen your ear. I'm going to go ahead and guess that if I were to internalize the thought about the Col de Mamadaqua, probably I would get perception bonuses and logic penalties. But I don't know for sure. Okay. Well, in any case, it's still only 11:20, which is, admittedly pretty late, but it's not late enough where Roy will have closed his doors, I'm pretty sure. So let's talk to Roy about the Col de Mamadaqua, see if he has anything to say about it. Or at least if he has any, equipment that I can buy from him in order to have a better chance of detecting this invisible bird. Hi, Roy. I'm back. It's just me.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
The boombox I bought, it should play this tape, right? I mean, didn't I already give it to Gart? Maybe he gave it back. He probably gave it back. It is mine, after all, theoretically. Also, I already played it on the boombox in your shop, but let's see what happens if I bring it up anyway.
Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape.
It does. Do you have any recordings of the Col de Mamadaqua?
The Col de Mamadaqua? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter.
I specifically have the eight-eyed Teratorn on my throat at the moment. He looks at you with astonishment, though. I've been really into all kinds of art lately. Experimental things, I've been thinking of quitting the RCM and becoming a cryptozoologist. I have hobbies, just like all normal people, because I'm a normal person. Well, I wouldn't have guessed that you know what the Col de Mamadaqua is, except that I did guess that he would know it because my brain told me to come ask him about it. Experimental things, yeah.
What an interesting development. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone hunting for the Col de Mamadaqua.
Well, you've actually been hunting for it. Continue.
Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead.
Would these be the ones out on the lake? Now, you said you once knew them, they were young at that point, and you're kind of old, much like I am, so probably it's not the ones out on the lake, but that particular tradition has been upheld. Might be interested to know. Continue.
This was before, lost touch with them after all of that.
I mean, sure, that's fair. The revolution we're talking about, right? Yeah, presumably. That sounds so cool. Get to the point. Do you have any recordings now? I'm not here to be a jerk about it. That sounds cool.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Col de Mamadaqua. And he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things. So he got the rest of us to join in his search.
Did you ever find it? I presume if they had, then Lena and Morel would know about it. And did you ever find it?
We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them,
He chuckles.
Cut them up and combine them into the Symphonia Col de Mamadaqua.
That's not very scientific. Can I listen to it? I'd like to listen to it, please.
Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for.
He starts rummaging through the tapes behind the counter. Spin that bird song. Yes, it's absolutely necessary for my research. Nah, that's okay. It's just that I heard the Col de Mamadaqua outside the whirling, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. Let's talk about something else now. Okay, we have an interesting situation here. Because on the one hand, I would like to hear his song, but on the other hand, I figure if I say this, he's going to be like, you, what? And I kind of am interested to see where that goes, too. But let's hear the song first. I can always dig back through this conversation. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Spin it.
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning.
He dusts off a case, then takes out the tape and places it on the tape player. Continue.
Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange.
I would expect nothing less, Roy. He switches on the tape player. The speakers begin to emit a low hum. Continue.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also from inside your chest. Breathing is becoming difficult.
Why did you slow it down quite that much? Until it's unpleasantly low. Continue.
Not good, not good. You're about to start suffocating. You have to stop this.
I failed a half-light check. Continue.
There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside your range of vision and watching you, doing this to you.
Well, I mean, there is technically a person standing right in front of me who's technically doing this to me, but I did ask that he do it. I'm guessing the half-light failure was just like a fight-or-flight response, and I'm giving into panic based on the feelings that this sound is putting into me. Continue.
He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit your eardrums.
Okay, continue.
Seabirds, most likely. Gulls and such.
Says logic. Seagulls? What's that?
Gulls and skewers. But...
Sorry. He raises a pointer finger and inclines his head towards the speakers. A new, very high-pitched, shivering sound emerges amidst the others. That's why I had to slow it down so much, so we could hear this. Continue.
That's it. The signal in the noise. The thin whisper.
Is it? Continue.
A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues, then begins to recede, dissolving in what must be the sound of water lapping at the bank.
Continue.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Mamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. Still, fascinating, aren't they? Early morning sounds.
He switches off the tape player. So he thinks it's not the Koldo Mamadakwa, but my response, that's it, the signal and the noise, the thin whisper. Apparently I think it is. Okay, so would we dig through there and just tell him that I happened to hear the Koldo Mamadakwa just to see what he would say? I think we're going to do it. Stand by.
The Koldo Mamadakwa. What an interest. Once knew this was before. Cool or not, we thought we did. Unfortunately,
Here we go.
I don't have
Here we
any
go, this is the one.
recordings from
I heard the
my
Koldo Mamadakwa outside the
old
whirling.
night. All right.
He looks at you oddly, he says, putting the tapes back reluctantly. Oh, I'm sorry, Roy. But I also don't want to go through listening to it again because it does, in fact, damage my health. As I was just mentioning, doesn't tend to happen. What do you know about that? Okay, I have other business to take care of now. Thank you, Roy. Great. Was there anything else I needed to do in here? Okay, there's the giant... This is the street light, right? The ridiculously expensive street light. And these are the figurines, and I already bought one of those. So I guess there's nothing to buy here. It's mostly about selling things. But I'm good for just now. Great. Well, this has been a productive day. I just need to get back to the center of town so I can get back to my lodgings. I'm not going to sleep yet because, as I have mentioned in past days, I suspect that the act of sleeping holds the risk of having things happen while I'm asleep, you know? So, I'm just going to go to the shacks and go to my lodge, and we're going to leave off there. Provided nothing, happens on the way. Looks like we're good. All right. Into the lodgings, then.
It's getting late, and it's raining. Time to call it a day.
As mentioned, yes, enter the shack. Here we are. At home in the shack. So welcoming, actually. Like, legitimately welcoming compared to where I've been in the past. Is there anything new here? Just the ability to shave, the mirror.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Right, it's just Harry. It's just Harry! It's just me. Okay, well, I think that about does it for day 3, unless there's something else I'm forgetting that I will think of between episodes, but I doubt it, so thank you for watching. Next time, I guess I'm going to get some rest. Seems like a good plan, and we'll see what day 4 holds for us. No luck at all with talking to Everett today. But maybe that's what I need to start out on tomorrow. Start actually spending skill points and talking to people to see if there's any way I can get past Measurehead. I never actually talked to Call Me Mañana after I failed to interact with Measurehead twice. I wonder if there's any point to doing that. That might be a thought. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.